I want to talk about the classic mirror test for self-awareness, and then I want to propose a slightly different version of it. The classic mirror test was developed by Gordon Gallup, and it's pretty simple. You take a mirror and you put it in front of an animal, and you wait to see how they respond. If they recognize that that's them in the mirror, then they have some kind of image of themselves, and they recognize that's them. If they bark or pretend like or try to attack and as if it were another animal, then they failed the test basically. Now, even humans don't pass this. I have a video of my son when he was about 12 months, and he would look in the mirror and then he would go around trying to find if that was another kid. And so he basically failed the test, and then very shortly after developed a sense of self. Um, and that's true with humans. And the great apes passed the test really well. Dolphins passed the test. Elephants passed the test, but not all animals. In fact, there's pretty decent agreement that dogs failed the test. So the dog looks in the mirror and classically sees another dog. It doesn't recognize itself. And same thing with cats. And that might be one of the reasons people are attracted to these animals because they don't have a sense of self. So that's the classic mirror test. But I want to propose a slightly different, more intense version of it. And so when you look out and you see the world, and it feels like it's a very different thing. But one of the things about kind of piercing the uh, borders of the mind and the ego is that the consequence of recognizing mind and recognizing that this image of self is just an idea of who you think you are is that the separation between you and everything else slowly dissolves, or sometimes it dissolves very quickly. But once it does, there's no more you versus everything else. And so, what I would propose is a slightly different version of the mirror test. And you can kind of practice this really right now or whenever, but you just look out into the world and do you recognize that that's you? So, in the same way that a dog looks in the mirror and doesn't recognize itself, you might look out and see everything and you see it's all different. It's not you. Well, that's failing the test. When you can actually look out and recognize that that's you looking at you, then you pass this kind of cosmic version of the mirror test. So let me know what you think.